עכשיו אני שמחה לקרוא לדן סברי רז, משורר, סופר.
I wish. I'm very nervous, and so I brought with me my favourite book. It's Donald Trump in Hebrew. It's like one of my favourites. So, poetry for change. I thought I would do some political poetry, so I apologise in advance. First one's called Throwing Brexit Stones. So it seems like the brains behind the Brexit brand were all too quick to quit this land, going back to the future of the 80s, man. Those wordsmiths never had an exit plan. It seems everyone got caught up in leave or remain and forgot to ask, isn't this question insane? Now the English are left with their miserable reign, a self-made crisis, though little will change. The second poem is based on the Second Gulf War inquiry. It's called Throwing Chilcot Stones. Back then, Iraq was called intervention, with no thought about life after liberation. Did we expect them to thank us for annihilation and believe leaders were misled by misinformation? Now, I'm not one to say, I told you so, nor be a self-righteous, sofa-sonic activist hero, but Baghdad's blood goes beyond ground zero. Bush and Blair were just Scorsese and De Niro. Cheney, Rumsfeld, and the other architects of war had the blueprints mapped out long before. Mickey Mouse stole the vote from Green Al Gore for lucrative arm deals behind closed doors. Today we may joke about iron domes and drones, a robotic future where driverless tanks may roam. We're just welcoming the Terminator into our homes. Let he who is without sin throw the first stone. The next poem is, it's not mine, it's written by Gil Scott-Heron, African-American poet, died a few years ago. It's written in 1991, it's about the first Iraq War. It's called Work for Peace. Back when Eisenhower was the president, golf courses was where most of his time was spent. So I never really listened to what the president said because in general I believed that the president was politically dead. But he always seemed to know when the muscles were about to be flexed, because I remember him saying something, mumbling something about a military-industrial complex. Americans no longer fight to keep their shores safe, just to keep the jobs going in the arms-working workplace. Then they pretend to be gripped by some sort of political reflex, but all they're doing is paying dues to the military-industrial complex. The military and the monetary. The military and the monetary. The military and the monetary. The military and the monetary, they get together whenever they think it's necessary. They are turning our brothers and sisters into mercenaries. They're turning parts of the planet into a cemetery. The military and the monetary use the media as intermediaries. They are determined to keep the citizens secondary. They make so many decisions they are arbitrary. The military and the monetary were shielded by January, went storming into February, brought us pot-bellied generals as luminaries. 2 weeks ago I hadn't heard of the son of a bitch, now all of a sudden he's legendary. They took the honour from the honorary. They took the dignity from the dignitaries. They took the secrets from the secretary, but they left the bitch in obituary. The military and the monetary, from thousands of miles away in a Saudi Arabian sanctuary, had us all scrambling for our dictionaries because we couldn't understand the fucking vocabulary. Yeah, there were some smart bombers, but there were some dumb ones as well. Scared the hell out of CNN in that Baghdad hotel. Yeah, there were some smart bombs, but there were some dumb ones as well. The military and the monetary, they get together whenever they think it's necessary. War in deserts sure is scary, but they beamed out war to all their subsidiaries. Scaring old folks into coronaries, the military and the monetary, from thousands of miles away in a Saudi Arabian sanctuary, kept us all wondering if this was really truly necessary. We've got to work for peace. Peace ain't coming this way. If we only work for peace, if everyone believed in peace the way they say they do, we'd have peace. The only thing wrong with peace is you can't make no money from it. The military and the monetary get together whenever they think it's necessary. They're turning our brothers and sisters into mercenaries. They're turning parts of the planet into a cemetery. Time for work for peace. Next, last poem is a tiny different note. It's a remix of a kind of poem I wrote years ago. It's called Space of Waste 2.0. The internet is a poem, a 21st century epic. If Google is God, then God, I'm pathetic. The internet is a shopping mall, the craziest ever known. You can buy apps, apples, and even Donald Trump gnomes. The internet is your bed, breakfast, and Uber taxi. We now live in Australia thanks to Airbnb. The internet is a roadmap. We have found new ways, but without Wi-Fi or GPS, I could be lost for days. The internet is dumbing down. Did you see the skateboarding beaver? It got more likes than the beheading of Justin Bieber. The internet is mum, dad, and babysitter. You can find the rest of this poem on YouTube and Twitter. Okay.